Hi guys, this is Dr. Denny Warren, and in this video I want to go over with you the importance of having proper curves in your alignment and having proper alignment. When you're looking front to back of the spine, what you want to see is you want the hips to be level and you want the spine to be straight up and down. Now that's an ideal alignment looking front to back. The reason why that's so important, because one thing we all understand is gravity. The forces of gravity are always compressing down on us. They're holding us down on this earth. But that also, that compression and holding us down, that puts certain stresses and what we call loads on our joints in our spine, or joints throughout our entire body. So when everything, looking front to back, when everything is balanced, so hips are level, spine is straight up and down, when you're distributing your weight evenly over your feet, and evenly throughout your body, that load, that compression, your spine is going to be healthier longer throughout your life. So that even distribution of weight, what that does is your body responds to that and it puts the calcium wherever the weight's being distributed. So all the calcium is going to keep your bones stronger, healthier, longer throughout your life. Now when you can be born with it, with scoliosis, or you can also have traumas where your spine the bones literally get shifted out of alignment. And that's called a subluxation. When the bones get shifted out of alignment and you put a force on the spine, when it's not aligned properly, looking front to back of the spine, then what's going to happen is you're going to put uneven loads throughout the spine. On the inside of that curve, you're going to have more stress. On the outside of the curve, you're going to have a totally different type of stress. It's going to be more of a stretching stress than a compressive stress or a compressive load. And what that does is your body responds to that. It's actually put more calcium on the inside of that curvature. So ideally, when we work with someone, we look front to back of their spine. We want to help straighten out their spine as much as we can. We want to help straighten out their posture. If their shoulders are off, we want to help straighten out their posture as much as they can, their hips and their whole spine. Now, when you look at the side of the spine, it's a little bit different story because there's something called facet joints, and these are the joints on the back side of the spinal column, and these joints direct our range of motion. So with your low back, you can go forward and backwards a lot farther than you can go side to side. That's because of the alignment of the facet joints. And as you go from your low back into your thoracics, your upper back, or even into your neck, the facet joints have different types of alignment, and that allows for different ranges of motion throughout your entire spine. But these facet joints also allow us and give us an understanding of what a properly aligned spine is when you're looking from the side. When you look from the side of the spine, I have this little drawing here. This, of course, is a head here. It's facing that direction. You see the nose and all these. I know that the artistic value is pretty amazing here. But when you look at the side of the spine, the neck is supposed to curve forward. So when we're looking at the neck, we're just looking at this area right here. That is supposed to curve forward. A lot of us, we understand this because when we think of an orthotic pillow, those pillows have a little contour. A contour pillow has a little contour for the neck to help support the curve in the neck. So this region right here, the neck is supposed to curve forward, the upper back curves backwards, and the lower back is supposed to curve forward. Now most people understand this too because in the low back, because we have, in a lot of our vehicles these days, we have something called lumbar support, where it starts to push out into your low back. And the reason why that's pushing out is to push out and give you more of that curve to help give you some stability in your low back and also help to relieve you from a lot of pain. Now, I want you to think of these curves. And the reason why we have these curves is because the alignment of all those facet joints in our spine, in the back side of the column of our spine. So what I want you to think of is with these curves is think of them as shock absorbers. So when you have the curves and they're properly aligned with a proper degree and proper angles, then you have a really good shock system. Because every time you jump up and down, again with gravity compressing down on us, every time you jump up and down, there's forces that go through your body. If you have a good curvature, it helps to absorb that. So this is just understanding some laws of physics. So it helps to absorb that shock. If we start to lose that curvature, we lose that shock absorption. So literally what can start to happen is you can start to pound down on your spine. So I'll give you an example. This is very common, and this alignment that I'm about to draw on this next one here, this can be with pain. So some people it can be very, very painful. Some people have no idea they have this going on. So instead of a curve going forward, it's very common for people to have a total loss of curve in their neck. And even in their thoracic spine, it could be very straight, and they might have a little bit of curve in their low back. This is very common. There's all types of different patterns. For some people, the neck can even go backwards. That can cause a lot of severe problems. It can cause rapid deterioration in the spine. So I want you to think of this for a second. Let's go back to this example right here in the middle. If somebody doesn't have a good curve, they've lost that shock absorption. So every time they're walking, even just standing under gravity, gravity's pulling down on us. When it pulls down on us, there's more shock, there's more stress in the spine because it's not being absorbed by the curvature, right? So there's more shock and stress in the spine. Again, your body's going to respond to that, and it's going to start to put more calcium in the area of more stress. When you see more calcium, you'll start to see bone spurs start to form in the spine. So literally losing the proper curves, and especially having a reverse curve in your spine, you're putting a lot of uneven stresses in your spine on areas that are not really designed to have that extra load or extra stresses on it. So you see your spine start to deteriorate at a rapid rate. Now, a lot of times people think that, arthritis, which is this what we're talking about, deterioration is arthritis. They're thinking that that's just due to old age. This is a normal part of aging. Well, again, that goes back to the whole question of what is normal versus what is common. It's common for elderly and people of older age to have arthritis and degeneration, but it's not normal. I'll give you one example. I can tell you right now, I have a patient, she's since passed away, but she's 92 years old. 92 years old is living a good long life. She had very healthy curves in her spine. She came in because her granddaughter was here, her daughter was here, and they just wanted grandma to get checked out. And so when she came in, she had really healthy curves, perfect degrees as far as the curves go, and she had zero arthritis in her spine. None, at 92 years old. Then on the reverse side of that, I've had as young as 12 years of age and 14 years of age with bone spurs and arthritis. So what happened with them, one of them, instead of having a curve going forward in the neck like you see here, he actually had an accident. He was riding a four-wheeler. He didn't see an electric fence. The electric fence clotheslined him and took him off. It carried him off the back of the four-wheeler. He's lucky, he's lucky he didn't get hurt worse. But what happened is the curve that was supposed to go forward, it got completely reversed over here. And it put a lot of uneven stress. That's a major stress to the spine, a major trauma to the spine. But now that's reversed and gravity's compressing down on that. It's an unstable structure. The body's trying to stabilize that unstable structure by putting more calcium and bone spurs down. So it's not all about your age. It's more about diet. Do you have a really inflammatory diet, or do you have an anti-inflammatory diet? And it's also about the alignment in your spine as to if your spine's going to be healthy with that free of arthritis, free of degeneration, and good healthy motion, good alignment. Now there's one other example I'm going to share with you. There's many patterns. Like I said, there's many patterns to what can be going on in the spine. Another one that's common for people is, especially in the elderly, you'll see this right here, and then you'll see a big hunchback. And I know my picture is not that great, but I'm going to redo it here. It's called hunchback or hyperkyphosis, where the upper back, they're leaning forward. They have this head forward posture, and their upper back is leaning, is shooting back. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, a lot of people know about that. That right there can cause severe problems. The Journal of American Geriatric Society found that people who have this posture versus people who have healthy posture, so compare the people that have this posture versus people who have healthy posture, on average, if you have hunchback posture, it can take up to 14 years off your life. There's another study where they looked at, and they measured, they put at C7, which is the 7th vertebra in the neck, and they drew what's called a plumb line, which is lined straight down. That line at C7 should go right across the front of your sacrum. But the farther that line was forward of the sacrum, the more organ problems, the more health problems, the poorer quality of life this person had overall. So there's several different, just to reiterate, there's several different patterns that people can develop either from poor posture, from poor habits, are from traumas throughout their life. And when a patient comes into our office, we do a full evaluation, full workup with them. We also take x-rays of them. That way we can see exactly what pattern the person has. And then we figure out a game plan if we can help them try to restore their posture back, restore their alignment back. That's going to give them better quality and quantity of life down the road. And so if this makes sense and you want more questions, if you have more questions, just let us know. You can always call us, you can email us, whatever you'd like. But this is our main goal with chiropractic, is to help restore the posture, restore the proper curves, proper alignment, so we can get that curve, that shock absorption back in your spine, slow down and stop the degeneration process. And then we also want to work with your whole lifestyle, work with the way you eat, the way you move, even help with thoughts, because all of those things affect your health, your quality, and your quantity of life. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about why it's so important to have proper curves. And like I said, if you have any questions, just give us a call. Talk to you soon.